to the TokyoBill Weekly Update, an end-of-week news brief on events in and around Japan. Today is December 21st, 2024. Good news for Godzilla fans. Godzilla, King of Monsters, the third movie in the MonsterVerse franchise, will be available for free streaming on Tubi starting January 1st. Directed by Michael Dougherty, the film follows eco-terrorists who awaken alien kaiju King Ghidorah and other titans, leading Godzilla and Mothra to battle them. Despite receiving mixed reviews, the movie did well at the box office. 2 sequels, including Godzilla vs. Kong, have been released, with another film planned for 2027. Additionally, a TV series called Monarch: Legacy of Monsters is in production, with the second season expected to debut in late 2025. The rise of K-pop and K-drama fans in Japan has led to an increase in Japanese seeking job opportunities in South Korea. In the past decade, there has been a significant shift in employment trends between the two countries, with more Japanese workers looking to work in Korea. Rising wage levels and technological advancements in Korea have made it financially appealing for Japanese job seekers, some Japanese students even changing their academic paths to meet these criteria. On the other hand, Japan has been easing its visa requirements for foreign workers to attract global talent. A 44-year-old Japanese finance ministry official, Yasutaka Yoneta, has been arrested for allegedly obscuring at a train station in Tokyo. Yoneta, a temporary associate professor at Tokyo Metropolitan University, denies the allegation. He is accused of filming a woman in her 20s under her skirt on an escalator in Minami Osawa Station in Hachioji in October. The incriminating photo was discovered on his smartphone during a separate investigation in Tokyo's Suginami ward in late October. Yoneta joined the Tokyo Regional Taxation Bureau in 2005 and started working at the university in April this year after graduating. 3 Cambodian women who worked as technical interns at a Japanese farm have filed a compensation lawsuit against the manager, alleging repeated sexual assault. The manager denies the accusations and plans to contest the suit in court. The women, in their 20s, worked at the strawberry farm in Tochigi Prefecture until April 2023. They claim the manager sexually assaulted one of them over a period of 5 months, resulting in a pregnancy and forced abortion. Plaintiffs are seeking roughly 92 million yen in damages. The manager admitted to having sexual intercourse with the woman, but denied making threats or molesting the other 2 women. Japanese space development startup Space One Corporation rescheduled the launch of its Kairos small rocket carrying satellites for Wednesday at 11 a.m. The launch was initially set for Saturday but was cancelled due to strong winds, with a subsequent attempt on Sunday also cancelled. The number 1 unit of Kairos exploded in March, and now Space One aims to be the first in Japan to put a satellite into orbit using a privately developed rocket. The company, established in 2018, offers services for launching small satellites into space. The number 2 unit is to be launched from the Spaceport Key liftoff site in Wakayama Prefecture. Alphabet-owned Waymo announced on Monday that it will begin testing its autonomous vehicles in Tokyo in early 2025, marking its first international expansion. The company will partner with Nihon Kotsu and taxi app Go to test its Jaguar I-Pace vehicles in key areas of Tokyo. Nihon Kotsu drivers will initially operate the vehicles to map the city, aiding in AI system training. Waymo also plans to test its robotaxis on a closed U.S. course simulating Japanese driving conditions. The move is seen as a response to the potential of driverless technology in Japan, where other developers like Tier 4 and ZMP are also working on autonomous vehicles. The announcement follows General Motors' decision to abandon its Cruise robotaxi division. Japan's largest bank, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, apologized for an employee allegedly stealing over 1 billion yen, or $6.6 million, from customers' safe deposit boxes. About 20 out of 60 affected clients had losses totaling 300 million yen. The thefts occurred at 2 Tokyo branches from April 2020 to this past October. The bank's president stated that the employee used her position to steal cash and valuables, leading to a loss of trust and confidence from customers. The employee was fired and is cooperating with investigations. Compensation is now being sorted out. The Japanese Health Ministry has reported higher than expected numbers of parvovirus B19 infections in and around Tokyo, with over 2,800 cases reported between November 25th and December 1st in the country. The respiratory disease spreads easily through coughs and sneezes, causing mild flu-like symptoms in children and joint pain in adults. Tokyo, Saitama, and Kanagawa prefectures have recorded the highest rates of infection. Pregnant women and those with compromised immune systems are at risk, with no specific treatment available. Frequent hand washing, staying home when feeling sick, and avoiding touching objects after touching your eyes, nose, or mouth are recommended ways to reduce spreading infections. The Health, Labor, and Welfare Ministry plans to cover tuition and living expenses for select international students from Asia studying at medical schools in Japan, aiming to contribute to the international community and promote the use of Japanese medical equipment and pharmaceuticals. The initiative is expected to start in fiscal 2026, with about 20 students accepted initially. Applicants will be sought through the Economic Research Institute for ASEAN and East Asia, with the government covering tuition fees and living expenses. The ministry will decide later on details such as eligibility, applicant selection, and participating universities. Less than 1% of medical students in Japan as of May 2023 were from overseas. The Danish Ministry of Justice announced this week not to extradite anti-whaling activist Paul Watson to Japan, despite Japan's request. Watson was detained in Greenland in July after Japan issued an arrest warrant for him for allegedly organizing obstructions on Japan's so-called research whaling. The Danish court extended his detention 6 times and ultimately refused the extradition request. The court cited the lack of a guarantee from Japan that Watson's time in Greenland would be deducted from any potential sentence in Japan. Watson has been released and reports he plans to seek asylum in France. Leaders from 5 Islamic boarding schools in Indonesia visited Japan for a cultural exchange program where they learned lessons on orderliness and responsibility from young Japanese students. One of the participants from South Kalimantan was particularly impressed by the way Japanese students lined up for meals and participated in food prep. She plans to introduce similar practices at her school to prevent students from wasting time in lines. The intercultural program, initiated in 2004 to address mutual suspicion between Muslims and non-Muslims, aims to promote cultural understanding and cooperation between Indonesia and Japan. Japanese Deputy Ambassador to Indonesia, Katsuro Nagai, expressed his keenness to see how the participants implement their Japanese experiences in their schools back home. Amazon Japan announced its entry into the Furusato Nozei intermediary business, supporting around 1,000 municipalities and 300,000 gifts. Furusato Nozei offers gift products to taxpayers offering donations that support rural municipalities, seeing over 1 trillion yen in donations in fiscal 2023. This has attracted interest from various companies seeking fee income, including airline and railway operators, department stores, financial firms, and technology companies. Amazon plans to leverage its distribution network for quick gift delivery, in as little as one day after donations. Head of Amazon Japan, Jasper Chung, highlighted the unique approach they will take to foster Furusato Noze donations. Japan schools value academics, but also extracurricular activities. However, in Kobe, public middle schools are getting rid of school-run clubs due to concerns of shrinking student numbers and high workloads on teachers. Kobe plans to introduce a system called Kobe Katsu, allowing outside organizations to use school facilities for youth programs. This frees the school system from administration and gives students more freedom to choose activities that might interest them. There are worries about costs and participation impact, but the Kobe Board of Education is positive about the plan. By August 2026, all school-administered extracurricular activities in Kobe public schools will be phased out. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries has launched a 10th Mogami-class frigate named Nagara, which will be delivered to the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force by March 2026. This vessel will protect Japan's Nansei island chain, including the disputed Senkaku/Daoyu Islands, and will feature anti-ship missiles and radar systems. Japan plans to build a total of 24 frigates by 2028, with an upgraded version set to be commissioned by 2032. Additionally, Australia is considering Japanese and German companies to build their future frigates, and Japan has just recently signed agreements to export defense equipment to India and the Philippines. Mogami-class frigates may be considered as River-class in English, the ships being named after major Japanese rivers. Journalists uncovered that 9 Japanese scientists had unknowingly co-authored journal articles with North Korean researchers, potentially violating United Nations sanctions against scientific collaboration with the isolated country. The Japanese scientists and their institutions were surprised by the collaborations, with some scholars finding out about their involvement only after the papers were published. Researchers are denying any connection to North Korean scientists, despite being listed as co-authors. The questionable publications were discovered by Nikkei Media Group reporters searching through 97 million papers following the UN's suspension of scientific cooperation with North Korea in 2016. Repercussions for the Japanese researchers involved, if any, remain uncertain. That brings us to the end of news items for the week ending December 21st. These stories and more you can read at theTokyoBill.com. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.